Welcome back to Game 4 of mouzHasu against EG's Puma. Now, this is the third place match in the IEM Season 6 tournament. So, these guys they've been fighting through this whole tournament, they get to the semifinals and they lose, and now they're just hoping for that consolation of third place. So, right now, Puma is up 2-1 after beating Hasu on Shattered Temple. And this is their fourth game on Shakuras Plateau, which I like as a map. I really like. This is one of my favorite maps, and I especially love PvT on this map. It can be so amazing for getting large arced armies, fighting large arced armies, and Zealots can get perfect surrounds, and it's a good map. So, we have to see. Once again, Puma's walling in. So, if you want to play like Puma, if you want to be amazing at your Terran versus Protoss, maybe walling in is just one of the things you have to have. I'm really curious to see if he goes for a build similar to the one he did last game. I really love the build he used. He was being extremely aggressive, but only off of one barracks and one factory. The way he was able to he was being so cost effective with his aggressiveness that he was really able to punish Hasu for taking that one gate nexus. Now we see, this is funny, this is the fourth time we've seen Hasu scouting with pretty much a different timing. He's scouting after Gas Geyser, which I've never heard of that before, but I like it. I don't like to scout my Terran players until I just want to scout the position they're in. Most of the time, I don't expect to actually get in their base, because I just don't want to get shot in the head with a Gauss rifle. It doesn't sound fun. So we see Hasu getting this late pylon. He's definitely going to be skipping his Zealot, which makes me think he's going to be chrono boosting out a Stalker and his Warp Gates. So he's probably going to be going for a 1-gate Nexus yet again. I totally agree with his play. I like that build. We see Puma's going to get to scout right into Hasu base. And yeah, we see Hasu taking the probes off of gas, so it's 100% going to be a 1-gate Nexus. Oh, he even runs his probe around from the SCV that he knew was coming just to be cute, or just to prevent Puma from being cute and blocking that Nexus. I love the way he did that. He's even going to get this Nexus before a Stalker. That is pretty ballsy, especially after what happened last game. And we see Puma here going for this factory immediately after barracks. So, and he has 2 gas geysers. Now, I believe this second gas is a little bit late if he's going for Cloaked Banshees, but he still could. And he's getting a starport immediately and a tech lab, so it really does look like it's going to be Banshees. I don't think there's going to be Cloak. I think it's just going to be Banshees into expansion. Then again, it could be the dreaded Banshee Tank Marine all-in. But this isn't a very good map for that all-in, in my opinion. It's really easy to snipe units as they're moving across the map if you have a large group of Stalkers. And especially if they go for Banshee first, it's really easy to have some blink. I highly recommend for Protoss players that you do this 1-gate expansion into a robotics facility and you scout them with an observer. And if you see a Banshee coming like this, and there is going to be Cloak on this Banshee, so if you see a Cloak Banshee coming, make another observer and then go for your blink immediately, because blink is an amazing tool at holding off a Banshee Tank Marine all-in. The key with using your blink is using your blink and observers to pick off units while they're coming from across the map. And you can kind of treat it like a Zerg does against a Terran 2-ax, where you just leave your Zerglings in the middle of the map and kill Marines when they walk across. Now we see Hasu being a little bit aggressive here. I like it. He knows that he's safe to do this, and he's just going to take a little bit of damage from his Stalker. It's not anything too severe, and he gets a little bit of a scout off. He knows that Puma's turtling on one base a little bit, but he doesn't know this Banshee's coming, which could be dangerous, and we see 2 more barracks coming down, so I am pretty sure this is going to be a Banshee Tank Marine all-in. If we look over at Hasuab's base, he's changed up his build a little bit. He's still getting his 4 gateways in his robotics facility, but he got the 2 more additional gateways before this robotics facility, so he's not even going to be able to detect this cloaked Banshee, and this might even just end the game right here. The Stalkers are still out from being in the middle of the map and harassing Puma. Oh, this is not a good position. We see Puma's making a Raven back in his main base. He will probably be starting siege tanks and siege mode. But this is a bad position for Hasuab. He's going to Chrono Boost out his Observer, and he's going to be able to... He's going to save some of his probes, but he's already in such a bad position, and this Banshee kind of just has free reign over Hasuab's base, and it's making him really afraid to push out. And we see this siege tank coming for Puma, so, and 2 siege tanks even, so this attack is going to be coming extremely soon. This is a variation I haven't actually seen before, where you just get 1 cloaked Banshee. I wonder if he's going to follow it up with more Banshees in a couple minutes, because he just wanted to get a Raven out really fast so that it could have energy built up. I think it's interesting, but I find it very weird that he got the cloak too. But we'll see. Puma getting supply blocked again, a little bit. And now he's starting to get his siege mode and more siege tanks. But yeah, he was actually majorly supply blocked because his second siege tank was really delayed. This could work out very well for Hasuab's. The Banshees has been deflected, but he got 12 kills. 1 Banshee got 12 kills. That's really not good for Hasuab's, and he's making an Immortal now. He doesn't have an Observer. He has absolutely no way of knowing when this push is coming out until it's halfway across the map already. And by then, it's almost too late. And he only sees the glimpse of 1 Marine, and he only sees it twice. It doesn't even look like he's going to see the attack coming. Okay, well now he does. He sees it coming with 1 siege tank. There's a second siege tank coming, and Hasuab's is gonna try to do a little bit of a counter attack, but especially if this tank sieges up, there's gonna be nothing that these 3 Zealots and Stalker do. But they might be able to accomplish a little bit. And oh no, it looks like... No, I think Hasuab's is actually just going to lose these 4 units. But he did delay this all in by a lot. So, every second that Hasuab's is mining on these 2 bases and Puma's only on 1 is good for Hasuab's. We'll have to see though. I don't think he has a large enough Zealot count. And there are 2 Banshees out now. And there's a 3rd Banshee being produced. So I like the way Puma did this. He only got his 1 Banshee out for some really quick harassment, and then he got his Raven out so that it could build up a lot of energy. And now he looks like he's going to be pushing with 4 siege tanks. I think he's waiting to get that 4th siege tank and to kill this pylon so that he can't be counterattacked. And now Hasuab's is using his Observer, but... Actually, I have to slightly take back what I said earlier, because in this variation of the all-in, the Puma has a Raven, so you can't really use that Observer you can't really scout with it very much, so that's one of, I think, the hardest parts about holding off this all-in. You just don't get to scout their army. We see that Hasuab is going for this robotic support base somewhere. Actually, he canceled it, I believe. And instead he's going for a Twilight Council, but I don't think any research is going to be finished in time. I think he's going to try to get out his charge. He's got a lot of Zealots, and charge would really help against those Marines, but he's laying down a lot of gateways, and he's not going to have enough money to build any units. And he's even supply blocked. Oh, never mind, that's Puma. Puma's supply blocked. I take it back. Puma's not even building. Puma's been really bad about supply blocking this series. And here it looks like it's going to be an engagement. This is definitely going to be the final engagement of the game. Unless Hasuab pulls back, of course. But if Puma wins this engagement, then it's going to be almost impossible for Hasuab to stop the oncoming push. And if Hasuab manages to crush Puma's army, then this is an all-in, and there's absolutely nothing Puma can do, but there's not even an Observer stuck with the army, so all of the Immortals are going to go down. They're going to be target fired first, and this Immortal up here is going to die to concentrated Marine fire. Hasu is going to try to push into Puma, but his Zealots are stuck behind the Stalkers, and all the point defense drones come out, and there's absolutely nothing Hasu can do. The Fancies alone are going to kill all the Stalkers, and then there's nothing Hasu can do. So that's GG, and it looks like Puma is taking 3rd place in the IEM Season 6. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I will be uploading more content soon.